I have too many open windows, so I'm going to try to make a couple videos to close these windows. Some of them are news links, and so there's lots of ads, and it just bogs my computer down. This one, I'm going to make a longer video about the safety of the current vaccine that we're using here in the US. But this one covers some of what Dr. Fauci has said and how it's contradictory to what documented government and medical papers have said. This one right here is interesting though, because back here on December 7th, 2020, COVID 19 first batch of vaccine arrives at UK hospital. So they started distributing this vaccine 3 weeks ago in the UK. And isn't that where we saw the big outbreak? Okay. And before that, back in September 25th, Novavax late stage trial of potential C19 vaccine begins in the UK. So they started trials in September with their Novavax vaccine. I'm going to leave links to these videos so that you can watch them. But however, these are doctors talking, and it says phase 3 vaccine trial. So in the UK, they started in September with the trials, and then 3 weeks ago, they rolled out the first batches of vaccines to distribute. And then, of course, we see in the news that they have this huge new mutated version, right, of C19. And although it's more transmissible, it says there is evidence the new variant could be more transmissible, yet vaccines work very well against it, they say. So it's a mutated form. And the thing with the mutated form, as we know, it's just like it's a novel virus. All the viruses that are in this category that we have currently amongst our populations, there's no vaccines for them. The common flu, the flus, most of the flus mutate, and so the flu vaccines are not very, uh, what's the word? They're not very ensuring. They don't necessarily protect you from the viruses that are out there. But the common cold is very much is like what the C19 virus is like, and it's going to mutate. And when it mutates and it has slightly different um, pattern to its, spikes on the protein spikes, or, just a little bit different type of protein material, then these mRNA vaccines that they're making to for our immune systems to respond to aren't going to be valid anymore. So it's going to be pointless. But yeah, so also on this video, I'm going to share right here on this Chinese news site. It says Roundup, Fauci dismisses theory coronavirus originated in Chinese lab. So this was back on May 6th when it was going around that it was concocted in the Wuhan lab. So top US infectious disease expert Fauci said that SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes C19, could not have been artificially or deliberately manipulated. He says that, it's a natural virus, right? Okay. It says, I don't think there's a chance that this virus is just going to disappear. It's going to be around, and if given the opportunity, it will resurge. All right. But if we go to another link I had, sorry. Uh, don't know where it is now. Anyway, he's saying here that it wasn't concocted, but I have another article. Let me find it. Sorry, I could pause, but I think think it's right here. So researchers fast-track coronavirus vaccine by skipping key animal testing first. So they, like I said before on an earlier video, they skipped the last stage of the animal testing and just went to human testing. So, but that's not what I had. I think it's right here. Evaluation, this is from CDC. This is the CDC's website itself. Evaluation for SARS-CoV-2 testing in animals. So they're talking about, why it's not recommended that they test it on animals, blah, blah, blah. Okay, although they did the CoV1 and there was bad consequences with the fourth stage of the trial. That's why they didn't recommend this type of vaccine be available to humans or go into human trials. Okay, animal testing for CoV2. Okay, but right here it says, remember how he said that it wasn't manipulated or made in a lab? It says right here about CoV2. Currently, there is no evidence that animals can transmit this virus to people. Now, didn't they say that it came from the Wuhan meat market and it jumped from animals to people? Okay, this is from the CDC. It says there is no evidence that animals can transmit this virus to people. In some rare situations, people have spread this virus to certain type of animals, okay, but not the other way around. Also, he was saying that by mid-fall, which I guess that's after, this is December 16th. So we're talking about past this spring and summer. By the coming fall, most people could, the US could return to normal if most people get the vaccine. And then he's saying it will require somewhere between 75 and 85% of the population to get the vaccine in order to make this, in order to have it be a herd immunity. So he says 75 to 85%. In another article, he says like 90% have to. And then he said, anyway, 75, 85, or 90, he's saying that, right? But if you look at the US populations, this is the total population by child and adult in the US, and we go to 2019 over here. Less than 18 is the first box, 18 and over is the second. So if we go to 2019, 22% of the population is less than 18. The two vaccines that are going out right now, the mRNA, are only approved for emergency use only for 16 or 18 and older. So 22% of the population is less than that. 78% is over. So only 78% of the population could get vaccinated anyway. So how would we ever reach the 85 to 90%? We can't, because 22% are younger than the age that is able to receive this vaccine. Okay, I'll go into more detail about what's in the vaccine and why it's bad for you in the next video. God bless.